cool.
Weird.
We're seeing Deadpool, oh my gosh!
I think that wasn't yet.
My sister has it. Yes. It's you.
I know.
Wintertime here at Hogsmeade Village.
Lieutenant Dane,
Hello, Forrest.
you got new legs.
Titanium alloy.
Time for my summer sizzle, cool as a cherry popsicle.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
It's happening. It's dish time.
I've always wanted to do this in front of you.
Creating content that enlightens and lifts you up.
Dish, sir, dish.
Me at Splash Mountain. Just pepper these in here.
Hello everyone, this is Kermit the Frog reporting live from the final showing of Muppet Vision 3D.
Right? God, I missed our daily dishes.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the dish!
Hey. So, let's dish.
What do you want to dish about?
Anything you guys want. This is your time.
Welcome back, Fun Fam! And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun. This is The Dish Live. If you're watching it live, if you're watching this on the replay, then this is The Dish that was live, and now it's on the replay, and you're watching it. So there you go. So welcome in, everybody. Wednesday night Dish pre-pro show. The pro show comes on at 10 p.m. And we stream right into that. So if you are wanting to watch the WDW Pro show at 10 p.m., don't change that dial. You can just watch right here. I hope everyone is having a phenomenal evening or day or middle of the day. Whenever you're watching, who knows when that is. But I am so grateful for those of you that are here, those of you that have chimed in, and hopefully people are still popping in the door. I don't know how notifications are working right now. I know that there's a lot of things changing on the YouTubes at the moment. There's tons of things. I keep getting all these emails from YouTube. You can do this and this. I'm like, YouTube, I'm an old dude. Okay. I cannot keep up with this change, that change, this change. The world, it's funny because I guess it's the fact that there's 8 billion people, right? 8 billion people on the planet. Okay. 8 billion people on the planet means that things are going to be changing constantly, but they don't need to. We have so much of life that's already good and already fine, and already okay. And I'm telling you what, man, I know the change is inevitable, but change isn't always good when it's just change for change's sake. And especially when that change involves pricing out the people that used to love you. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that tonight. But I'm not pricing out anybody because this show is free. This is free to enjoy for everybody, no matter where you are in the world. So thank you so much for those of you that are tuning in and choosing to be here with us tonight on this Wednesday night, as of the recording and live streaming of this, the 8th day of October in the year 2025, a year that is just speeding by faster than I can keep up with it. That's for sure. But we have some awesome guests tonight, and we have people coming in. I just saw Maravita pop in here. Good to see you tonight, Maravita. Evening, everyone. Evening, Maravita. Let me say hi to everybody. As a matter of fact, I just want to thank everybody that's coming in tonight. As you guys know, you give me the energy to be here. I do this for you. I love you all so much. The brightest audience on YouTube, the sharpest audience on YouTube, the cream in my coffee, the apple in my eye, and of course, the energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed to be here with you.
Toast, Autobots.
Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy!
This stuff's the greatest.
I love that clip. Fairbrick Studio chimes in. Hi, Ron. Early in the house tonight. Actually, 4:57. Maybe in bed by now. My Superman. Look, it's like you guys have the X-ray vision because you can see right through me if you're looking at my Superman symbol on my shirt. I don't know why. This is actually yellow, but comes through like green screen material, I guess, to the camera. Let's see. I said hi back to Wayne. William says hello all. William Schweikert chimes in. And he says, hope you enjoyed yourself up there or up here in the Jacksonville Beach. I guess he's up there in that area somewhere, 32 miles away. And yeah, we had a good time when we were up there. And it was quite a day, fun time, little family road trip, if you will. And it says, sadly, I will not be here for the start of your show as I'm at Doom Cox PCB as he is celebrating 8 years this week. So I will be attending some of that, celebrating 8 years. You know, it's crazy. I actually technically started this channel 7 years ago in 2018. And just didn't do anything with it for the longest time, not until 2023. So I've only really been doing YouTube, like really doing it for 2 years. But technically the channel started in 2018, but is what it is. And then DL Findle is here tonight. He says, William, there are so many great places up there. And William says, be here in about an hour. He missed the beginning, but be here before it ends. Well, that'll be great. Well, love to see William come in when he comes in. Don't forget to hit the like button, everyone. DL Findle says, those places need a love button. That's right. And Strings and Pucks chimes in over here, says, hey, everyone. At Follow the Bradley's Fun. I am in the back, and he is in the back. He's waiting. Going to be on stage in just a moment. Yes, Disney wants to go out of business. Why raise prices when the attendance is way down? Nothing they do these days makes any sense. That's probably why they're just trying to get the few people that do show up as drunk as possible in all those brand new bars that they've got going on. Going Shogi says evening, and evening back from Strings and Pucks. And then Maravita says, hello, everybody, evening, everyone. And I believe that gets us back to where we need to be. Let me bring in some of my cohorts.
Afternoon, everybody.
Oh, it's not Norm, it's Jeremy. Same thing. Jeremy.
Very close. Yeah.
Jeremy, Laura, how you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you doing, Ron?
It's we are entered into our celebratory season here, so we're doing pretty good. My wife's birthday is the 6th of October, so we just have date after date after date right now. So we have our anniversary that kicks things off on September the 30th, and then my wife's birthday, then my birthday's in November. Then, here's the order of things. It is anniversary, birthday, Halloween, birthday, Thanksgiving, another birthday, and then Christmas and everything that goes along with that, and New Year's, of course. But also, that's just my immediate family. In my wife's family and in my own family, there's also a lot of other birthdays that all happen this time of year. It's as if people were busy doing something in the spring that caused everybody to be born in the fall. I can't imagine what that might have been.
Yeah, we have 6 birthdays in December, and once I looked at Mom and go, how boring was March? I guess not that boring.
Those are things. My beautiful wife was in the chat. She says, good evening, everyone. Hi, baby. Love you. Thank you for being out there in the chat and modding along with Go and Shogi, who's also modding for us tonight. Thank you, Go and Shogi, for being out there. And if you're cooking anything for us, let us know, because we'd be happy. But you know who's good at cooking, or perhaps was while they were alive? We've got somebody who is, it's like I've seen a ghost.
Doc, calm down, okay? Just calm down. It's me, it's Marty.
No, it can't be you! I sent you back to the future!
Hey, Doc, that's right, but I came back again. I came back from the future. Don't you remember last night? You fainted. I brought you home.
This can't be happening! You can't be here! It doesn't make sense for you to be here! I refuse to believe that you are here!
No.
Well, as it happens, my wife's birthday is the day after Christmas. And let me tell you something. You do not buy or wrap, rather, my wife's presents in Christmas wrap, or you will have serious trouble.
So here's my question. If your wife's birthday is the day after Christmas, like, what do you do for an event? Do you take her to a boxing match? Because, it's also Boxing Day
over in England. Yeah, but no, we have those regularly within the confines of our home. So, but no,
my goodness.
Well, every day is an adventure. I'll just put it that way.
I tell you what, sometimes I go to you at Universal Studios, and I stand at the feet of your just statuesque form. And I gotta
ask yourself, why did they put him in a Sergio Leone duster? He never wore a coat like that in his life. But
I tell you, but I look up to you, Lou. I really look up to you.
Yeah, well, you and
thing's
like,
like
look
12
out for
feet
the
tall.
pigeons, though. They may be roosting up there. And,
Yeah, it's so funny how close you are to the Back to the Future stuff over there, because you've got Doc Brown's DeLorean and the train, and then you just walk like 20 feet to the left, and there's Lou Wasserman.
it's just a jump to the left.
Put your feet in time.
Yes, do the time warp again.
Right.
And again.
Speaking of that, we have something to celebrate over here. We've got Maravita chiming in with her member chat for 2 months. Thank you so much, Maravita, for being a member for 2 months. Says, I thought we were almost stable at work was wrong. Half of us have been driving 7 hours a day, and now we're at 7.5. Some 50 hours a week. So are you a driver for some like actual driving? And I hope you're okay. I will say this. I don't know why this hit me, but I want to congratulate a friend of mine who is a fellow YouTuber, political space, but so totally different stuff than what I do. But he's helped me out a lot in the YouTube space, and I really like him a lot. His name's Adam Francisco, and huge congratulations goes out because yesterday, school bus driver. Wow. Okay. Wow. Woof. So Adam Francisco, I don't know if anybody follows him out there, but Adam had kidney failure.
Dear.
Younger gentleman. I think he's in his late 30s, perhaps. Anyway, I met up with him. Super nice guy. Love him to death. And he works hard. Anyhow, congratulations. Yesterday, he was able to finally get a kidney from a living donor. Nonetheless. So he has been featured, by the way, on you'll like this, LW. You know the Sky, what is it, the Sky News Network or whatever they call them from Australia?
Yeah.
And they have lefties losing it.
Yeah.
So he was featured specifically on a video that they used on lefties losing it, where he was doing a live stream and got attacked by somebody like literally coming at him, and he's got it all on video, and then so he's been seen by millions of people all over the globe, this guy. But this whole time that he's been working, and I found him, I think in 2020, this whole time he's been working with kidney failure, and typically his dialysis was like 10 hours a day. Dear. The fact that he put as much effort as he did into his channel, still does, obviously, but he has he got the kidney on the day that he was supposed to get the transplant, which was a little over a month ago. We found out that he had shingles. So he had to go through shingles. They actually came up on his face. I've had shingles before on my back, and that's incredibly painful. So he's been through a lot. He's in the hospital right now. He's done a few live streams from the hospital. But feel free to go and subscribe to him. Adam Francisco is his name. He's of a very particular political persuasion, so you may not want to subscribe to him, but that's up to you. I'll let you find out for yourself. I can tell you that he's a really, really good guy. The fact that he puts himself out there, and he puts himself in sometimes dangerous situations when he puts himself out there. So he's fighting a good fight.
Can you put his link in? Can a mod put his link in the chat?
I don't know. You can just look him up under Adam, ADAM, Francisco. You should be able to find him. And if Go and Shogi, if you want to look him up and see if you can put his link in the chat, that'd be great. And then Marabita says, it's a bit rough right now. What is this? Oh, in hematology, determined my body cannot absorb oral iron supplements.
Well, guess what I'm getting in the morning, Maravita? An iron infusion.
Oh my God!
Not because
just don't get it orally.
Orally. Not because I can't, but because it doesn't do enough. So, yeah.
All right, I got to go back
as
to
infusions
this.
go. It's relatively painless and simple, and takes about half an hour, 45 minutes, and you're in and out. So that's the good news.
So basically, tomorrow afternoon you're going to be Iron Man.
Well, yes. If only.
in a snap.
Every time I watch your
right.
intro, and I think, which came first, Iron Man or the Transformers, as far as all that putting on all the armor stuff? But
well, let's see. Iron Man. Was there ever an Iron Man cartoon in the 60s or 70s? I know that
they had some of the other ones, but I don't think he had his own. I could be wrong. I don't know.
There was Captain America, because it was Captain America throws his mighty shield. All those who oppose his mighty shield.
You might have guessed it on like Spider-Man and Friends or something.
I don't know. I mean, I know I watched a lot of different Spider-Man. I mean, my first introduction to Spider-Man was the Electric Company.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yes,
it was Morgan Freeman, by the way, as Easy Reader. I don't know if you remember that, but I
do. He was not
Easy Reader. Yeah, and he would read the Spider-Man comics. Says nobody knows who you are, which is funny because everybody knows he's Peter Parker. But so I mean, I remember being a little kid and watching Spider-Man on the Electric Company, and then watching Batman and Robin, which I'm sure was in reruns because it was the 1970s, and Superman reruns with George Reeves, and all of those things when I was a little kid. I mean, like 3-4 years old, I'm watching those things sitting in front of my big giant console television that was also a big stereo and all kinds of things. So, but we got to play a celebration for Maravita. Everybody who knows what we do on this channel to celebrate, you put emojis in the chat. So if you're a member of the channel, those are custom emojis. And if you're not a member, dance emojis, smiley emojis, throw them in the chat. Party with us. We are going to celebrate right now. Oh, that's a fun song. We love to celebrate. Now, Adam, I saw there's Adam Francisco's YouTube link right there. You can also follow him on X and Instagram, all of the things. I tell you what, social media, I have a hard time keeping up with social media. And there are times when I'll go 2, 3, 4 days without looking at X, just because the feed can get so incendiary. And I guess it's not always positive. Sometimes it's positive. Sometimes it's just Maravita's dancing. Dance with this Maravita. It's all good. This, by the way, I think I wore the same shirt in the picture that I have with Dean Cain. One of them where I opened it up. Dean is so funny. It's been a few years now since I've been able to see him, but I want to say this about Dean Cain. Dean is a great dad. And the reason I know this is because I got to sit down. There was just a situation. I don't even know how it happened. I don't know what Dean was doing. I don't know, but I was sitting down at a table.
When a man meets a woman. Oh, not that.
No. I think he was working. He was out filming. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm sitting down with his son, Christopher Cain, and it's literally just me and Chris. Nobody else is around. So I had this conversation with him, and we must have talked for like half an hour. And I'm telling you, what an amazing kid. And he was, just telling me about the different things he was going through. Of course, the conversation ended with, well, we got to get going. I gotta get out of here and fly with my dad to our villa in Spain that they own. So that, that's where it kind of.
Wait. With his dad, fly might not need an airplane.
Yeah.
But,
You better not have
Can
those
you read
kryptonite
my mind?
shoelaces
We're
anymore.
going to the Spanish Villa.
Yeah. No, it's just so funny because, you know, a lot of the Hollywood type people are people that are involved, or at least on the fringes or whatever, just regular normal people. I would imagine LW knows
Yeah.
that a lot
Well,
of
yes, and I always tell people I would have been richer, famouser, and otherwise more successful if I agreed to work with morons, but I wouldn't. And you get through the grapevine who the bad people are, and you say, I think I'll pass on that show. So
you've
well,
never worked with Mark Ruffalo? Is that
no, never. No, I made over 300 episodes of network TV, and I can count 2 of them that were no fun. One a show you've never heard of, one a show you've heard a lot about. But either way, and in fact, the one that you've heard a lot about was Friends. I was filling in one week, and a dear friend of mine who had been the first AD on another show I'd done for many years, and was now the UPM. And I said, "So how is it?" He said, "I have more power. I'm making 5 times the money, and I'm not having as much fun as I did back then." Because the people are kind of Anyway.
Well, my
sorry about
hello?
that. That's me. I'll fix it.
The bad phone.
My experience on Friends was as an audience member, and it was an interesting thing. So right around the year 2000, obviously the internet was going. You could go to tvtickets.com and get tickets to almost any show you wanted to be in a live studio audience. Most shows are begging people to come and be in their live studio audience because for the most part, they have a hard time filling up those. They had a hard time filling up those studio audiences. As a matter of fact, I was personally begged to be in the studio audience on the what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? It was before Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, before Howie Mandel. That was it, Howie Mandel. So when Howie Mandel had a show that was just a talk show, and I was begged. What happened was I had a layover in Los Angeles that was extended. I had to stay an extra day. So I didn't know what to do. So I went to NBC Studios in Burbank and said, "Hey, can I, see the Tonight Show?" And they said, "Will you please also see the Howie Mandel show?" They basically begged me to come be. And I get. And they said, "Well, we've got a special place for you in the Tonight Show. You won't miss that. We promise. And we will shuffle you over. It's one right after the other." So I think Howie filmed at like 4, and Jay filmed at like 5. Obviously, these things film very early before they go out for the night, whatever. And I'll never forget because it just happened to work out that one of my favorite people who I'd never seen before was on the Howie Mandel show that day. And his guest happened to be Tony Robbins, which I thought was really cool. Who since then I have personally shared the stage with, which is also really, really weird because life throws things at you that you're not expecting.
Well, most of those shows, certainly Leno and also even Johnny Carson would shoot at 5:30 because in many cases they then get on a private plane and fly to Vegas and do their nightclub act that night and come back the next day for the next show.
Yeah, Jay, I would imagine, did that a lot, I would assume.
Yeah. And Carson did it too, and Dean Martin to a certain degree.
Yeah, cool.
But
as long as he wasn't flying the plane because he was always drunk. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. So, but for Friends, it was very different. Friends, you actually had a very short window of the year, a time window, like 2 weeks, where you had to send your letter in, make sure that it arrived to NBC in that time period, and then they would select the show that you would get to go to, and you would have to somehow make it out to California. You'd have to figure out how you were going to be there on that day. Well, turns out I was actually able to do that twice in my life, but I only actually made it out to one episode of Friends. It was called I think it's season 7, episode 6, the one with the Knapp partners, and the lady who wrote the show, I don't know if you remember her name, LW, the show runner. It was her birthday, and I just remember them having, like, they wheeled out this big birthday cake at the end of the taping, and they said anybody wants to celebrate with us can. And some people left and some people stayed, and they handed out pieces of birthday cake. And the taping's like 6.5 hours long, so they feed the audience while you're there.
And the audience stuck around, which is on most shows. After 3 or 4 hours, we send the audience home, and then we get to work. But on Cheers, Friends, they never left. And,
no, they had this thing where people were waiting outside.
Yeah.
So that if there was a break and some people wanted to leave, if you left, you couldn't come back in. You couldn't go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You had to hold it for 6.5 hours. But if you did leave, then they brought new people in. And I ended up sitting by whoever the girl is that played Monica. I ended up sitting by a bunch of her relatives, and they kept talking about her. It was really funny. But the funniest thing about that episode to me is, like, sometimes I feel like, should I put that on my Marna Kaufman? Yes, that's right, James. Marna Kaufman. Thank you for saying that in the chat. It was her birthday that day, and or at least they were celebrating it. And then it's when I watch the episode, first of all, I remember all the bloopers that actually happened when I was there live. So I can now go on YouTube, find bloopers from that day, and go, I totally remember that happening. The other thing is I can hear my laugh on the laugh track because I was sitting right beneath a microphone. So there's a couple of places where I go, that is distinctly my laugh from the laugh track.
Well, let's be clear about these shows. Yes, we do it in front of a live audience. Yes, we record the laugh track. But if you think that means it isn't enhanced later, yes, it is. And the main reason for the laugh track is to give the actors the timing, because otherwise they'll run through the jokes if they don't have the laugh holes. So laugh holes. That sounds
I got called
we
that
don't
once.
like are a bunch of laugh holes.
A lot of those actors are definitely laugh holes.
But
you know what surprised me the most?
We sweeten it. So anyway.
What the thing that surprised me the most is how tiny all of the actors were. Like, all of them. I could not believe, like, that. I don't know. It just surprised me. Everybody, like, literally the entire cast of Friends, all the guest stars, everybody. I think they are all. I think Ross is like 5'10", and so all the rest of them, like, he's the tallest, and they were just. They all come across. Ross came across bigger on screen. And
they
in
say
real
the
life,
screen adds 10, 15 pounds, but I don't know about how many inches.
Yeah, it adds inches. Yeah, it definitely depends on the movie. We've got to get we got to get to news, and we've actually got some big time breaking. Actually, before we get to news, there's something else I want to put on the screen just so I can show everybody out there. Let me do the share screen thing, and I'll put this up real quick just to show you, and then we'll get on with the actual news that you come here for. And that is my spread shop. My spread shop, we've got a sale right now. So there's 5 days left of the sale, and right now, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but it's 20% off on any order that's over $70. So if you go to all products, you can see that if you want something for Halloween, this is just kind of funny. And that's the Reed E. Creek shirt. It is about the death of Reedy Creek, if you will. That's not a YouTube, no real person, no real death. Here lies the ashes of Reedy Creek with foot stuck in mouth. Their outlook turned bleak, is what that says. And yes, it was a pretty bleak outlook for the Reedy Creek organization, the district.
You have organic products?
Yes, but they're just organic. That's all they are.
Oh God.
Let's see. Follow the Bradley's Fun. I don't know why this is. I brought up the kids premium T-shirt, but here's the design for that. This is our YouTube family logo. Get those shirts or mugs or jackets or whatever else. We have also, of course, got the dish. The dish. There's what a girl should look like. So if you're a fan of the dish and you want to let people know, there is the dish T-shirts. All of these 20% off if you order $70 worth of products or more right now. So just letting you know that. And we've also got, I think, This is the one that if you want to wear out and about, if you're willing to get those funny looks, and that is our Make Disney Walt Again merchandise. Okay, and yeah, you'll probably get some funny looks out and about it if you're wearing that. Just to let you know. And there you go. But now we gotta get to. By the way, if you buy anything, and thank you, Go and Shogi, for sharing the merch link out there. If you purchase anything during the show, let me know. We will celebrate that just like we celebrate a super chat or super sticker or PayPal, buy me a coffee, memberships, gifted or dropped, or any of those types of things. But we will celebrate all of that.
Well, you know, Ron, as long as we're discussing things to buy,
yes,
the observant among you will notice that there's a subhead under my name down there. At urging from many, many, many people, I have started just this week a Patreon with more topics than we can cover in strictly entertainment circles here on the various channels. And you are welcome to take a gander and join up and see what you see, because happily it's growing by leaps and bounds here just in the last couple of days. I officially announced it and opened it on Sunday, and here we are. So patreon.com lose views, and it's my views on just about anything and everything. And maybe you'll like it. You never know. Take a look.
Here, is this the correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, did I spell Patreon?
Patreon is spelled funny. Yes.
Wait. Let
There's
me get the link.
A there.
There it is. HTTPS. Boom. Bum bum. PATR.
Patreon. Lose the A.
PON.com/lose.
Yeah, you got to lose the A in the middle of Patreon.
Now, I'm just double checking. Let's see if I did this correct. Let's see if is that right?
There it is.
Okay, now I want to double check and make sure it's just a Patreon and it's not an OnlyFans. Is that correct?
No. One of the episodes talks about the AI revolution, and I posit that the very first people who will be totally unemployed by the advent of AI are OnlyFans people, because why should you pay somebody else to do something once when you can make it yourself and have them do it over and over and over again? You know,
wasn't that? All right. God, that
don't know what to say, Lou.
Well, the worst part about what she just said is it made me think of that line from the movie a few years ago, the trafficking movie, and there was a line where you could drugs. It was something about the drugs that you could only sell once, but when it came to like a child, it was.
I don't know about that, Ron.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway.
Yeah, not a subject we typically cover.
No, and for good reason. But anyway,
what was the name of that movie though? Go and Shogi. It was. Oh, why can't I think of it? It's with Jim Caviezel.
Oh yeah, The Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. That was it. Sound of Freedom. Yeah. Sound of Freedom was an excellent movie. It's sad. Obviously, YouTube doesn't like you to cover that kind of stuff and all of that. But I will say about that subject is it is the worst thing going on in the world today, and nobody. It's hardly ever talked about, and then because nobody's trying to stop it, it will continue to go on.
But part of the problem with the world is everything turns to these iffy things. For example, earlier when you were speculating on Iron Man cartoons, I looked it up on Google. You know how they have all those questions people ask?
Yeah.
The first one says, is there an Iron Man cartoon? And it says Iron Man, the animated series. And there was something about Avengers, Earth Mightiest Heroes. The next question, is Iron Man pansexual?
What?
Excuse me, but who cares? And
why?
That was the second most asked question, is my point in it. What people? Golly.
Yeah, it's a very, very strange place.
I thought you only used pots. I never even saw him touch a pan.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I was pepper pots.
That's right. That's right.
The thing is, and I said this earlier on Exit, I said, it's not that the world is technically a worse place than it ever was. It's just that the information gets out faster than it ever did. And so bad information spreads faster and can, encompass a lot more people quicker than it used to. Same thing with
I was reading a very interesting essay about that, and they made the point that a few years ago, if you wanted to express an opinion, you wrote an article or a manifesto or whatever. Then we got Twitter, and you were limited to, 140 some odd characters. Then we got the hashtags, and now it's all visual memes. I mean, look at the sombreros, for God's sakes. That says more than any long manifesto ever said. So I don't know when our attention span will get even shorter and we'll go to, blinks. But it's not good for literacy or thinking or going beyond the surface, as far as I'm concerned.
Just before we jump from this, I've really started to enjoy some of the police that'll put up their body cam videos and comment on them. It's just sometimes really wacky stuff.
Yeah.
But there is an actual new defined phobia of when they take a phone from someone who's acting up, like to arrest them. The person doesn't care they're going to jail, but they lose it when their phone is taken away.
Yeah.
And they've come up with a phobia specifically for someone detached from their device, and they treat it.
How do they treat it?
Take their phone away and then shoot it. Sorry. That's what I wanted them to do. No,
scared straight. Tough love, right?
They now do not let you take someone's phone from them in several states, even if you're arresting them. They have to hold on to it.
No phonophobia. No phonophobia?
Yeah, that's
phonophobia.
No phonophobia.
Let's ask AI. They're always right.
Oh, yeah, right. I have learned that is not the truth at all. But speaking of the truth, we do
the great
actually
line
need to get
about
to
AI, which I actually
nomophobia. It's the real thing. Nomophobia. NOMO.
Oh, well, the great line was Ray Bradbury. And this is years ago because he's been gone a long time. He was a great guy. I got to know him a little bit. He said, I don't think the robots are taking over. I think the men who play with toys have taken over. And if we don't take the toys out of their hands, we're fools.
He was a genius.
Yeah. There's
I
words to live by.
have the entire Ray Bradbury collection on Peacock, and I have watched the entire thing. He was incredible. So good to watch.
Well, when I first met him, I was in this allegedly smart kids class at high school where we had set our own curriculum besides the books the school wanted. And once a week we met at somebody's house. And the deal was the person who had picked that book got to, quote unquote, teach it to the rest of the class with the teacher there and whatever. Well, this girl whose father was the school shrink, he knew Bradbury somehow. And she decided to do something wicked this way comes. And they invited him to come be there, which was exciting. Now, my friend, my classmate, was the ultimate definition of, what do they call it? Anal retentive. She tried very, very hard to control the environment. So she had this whole list of questions like she was, I don't know, William F. Buckley or somebody interviewing him. And she had found this book called Writers on Writing, in which he had contributed an essay. And she said, in whatever year it was, you wrote, and she read this quote from him. And he smiled. And he said, did I say that? That's really good. And I thought, good for him. He likes his stuff. But 90% of my classmates' reaction was, God, what an egotist. How dare he? So it just shows you everybody takes things differently,
Yeah.
And anyway, he was an interesting man.
And he had a very cool first part of his last name. I just have to say that. Let's get to some breaking news for the day. It's price hike day at Disney. Disney raises ticket prices at Walt Disney World and Disneyland parks. Report. This is on Fox. This is
Fox Business, yes.
Fox Business, yes. Price hikes reportedly reflect higher labor costs. Higher labor costs and ongoing,
which is why they're letting everybody off
parks
and cutting back hours. And
yeah.
hey,
All right. So here's
More
the
walls.
story as reported by Fox Business. This is Sophia Compton. Let's give Sophia credit where credit was due. The Walt Disney Company is reported to be raising ticket prices at its 2 major U.S. theme parks, citing higher labor costs and continued park expansions. The price hikes took effect Wednesday at Walt Disney World. I'm not sure that they took effect. I know they were announced, but I don't know that they actually took effect, because I know some of the price hikes are taking effect later on this month. Disneyland, also in Anaheim, California, Disney Focus news outlet MickeyVisit.com reported.
I love this next quote. Disney
Here's a
parks
quote.
offer a full day of experiences each day. That's why Animal Kingdom has 5, count them 5 rides.
Well, I guess if you want to go over to pet the goats, you can pet the goats for 8 hours.
I suppose.
Yeah. Full day of experiences each day with ticket, hotel, dining options designed to suit a wide range of needs and budgets. Range of needs and budgets for all who visit.
We need it to be cheaper.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
So the wide range of budgets they're talking about apparently starts with families that make $200,000 a year, and then I guess goes up from there. I mean, I guess $200,000 to several billions is a wide range still, technically speaking. Just, it shuts out the vast majority of people who are under the high 10% margin. Disney officials told Fox Business in an email, our commitment to creating magical experiences for everyone remains at the heart of what we do, and that will never change, except
just the price, right?
I just can't believe that. I mean, I've worked for the company and I know what it was like to work for them. And
didn't they used to raise the price concurrent with the opening of a new attraction, not with the walls going up and 6 years of building? Haven't they put the cart before the horse a little bit here?
I don't know how.
Which doesn't mean they won't raise it again when that happens someday.
Yeah. Typically, they'll raise the price at the beginning of their new fiscal year, which this is, and then they'll also raise. They also have price hikes typically in February, I want to say, halfway through the fiscal year. This says that the visitors to Disneyland will face the largest price jumps. The park's Tier 6 one-day ticket used on the busiest, highest demand days rose $18 to get this. $224 per adult. Now, remember, they call an adult anybody that's 10 years of age or older. So that's basically everybody. $224 per ticket, a 126% jump over the past decade. That is nuts. And these are just the prices.
That outpaced inflation.
I just looked it up. Inflation over the last 10 years averaged 2.5% annually from 2012 to 2020.
Wow.
So, what the heck, 100 and some odd percent? It's a rounding error, right?
It did go up 25% during the lockdown. From 2019 to 2025.
You mean when they weren't selling tickets?
Good, yeah. That's still what's changed.
And when they slowed down construction on things like Tron, which was an exact copy of a ride they'd already done, and opened it up much later than it would have been at more cost because the price of materials went up during that lockdown.
Yes.
And then when they opened it,
400%.
but the lights didn't work, and it's
it's also really dirty. That
Yeah.
canopy that's over it. They I guess they haven't figured out a good way to clean it. I went by the other day and I remember looking closely. I'm like, there's pieces of it peeling. I'm like, this is a new ride. I just it's so different than the Disney that I used to know and love.
What has happened? Because I always heard of the white glove standard as something that Walt basically lived by. I mean, maybe that was exaggerated, but it's
Walt's whole
not
thing
in
was
his day.
that he didn't want to be like all the cheap carnies and peers and gamblers and drinkers and hoochie coochie shows that were the standard for parks elsewhere. So anyway.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right. It was the white glove. That was the. I mean, that was it. So check this out at California. The popular 5-day park hopper pass that grants access to Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure rose $39 to $655. 5-day park hopper for $655,
and that's without Lightning Lane.
That's without Lightning Lane, but it's also per person. So if you wanted to take your family of just a family of 4, you're talking $2,500. By the way, that's tickets only. That
you haven't eaten, you haven't spent the night, you haven't bought a Mickey doll, anything. Exactly.
That's not doable. I'm just talking from Michigan. The people here have stopped going on vacation. They're doing like camping at local campgrounds just to do something.
They're sleeping in their car is what they're doing.
Well, they're sleeping in my car. That's the problem.
Oh, well, okay. You could raise the price for that by 185% and get away with it, apparently.
Yeah, they like to pay with goods and services.
Oh.
I'm jumping over from Fox to WDWNT just because I couldn't stop the videos from playing in the background on Fox. Here is a full list of Walt Disney World of price increases, right? This is published by WDW News Today by Shannon Ace. Just looking at some of the, like, it's not just ticket prices that went up, it's everything across the board. And we're going to focus on Lightning Lanes in just a moment. But when you look at, I mean, this is what has increased: tickets and add-ons, standard tickets, annual passes, Lightning Lanes, extras and experiences, tours, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, Droid Depot and Savi's Workshop, parking charges, food and beverage, merchandise. I'm just going to click on parking because I'm really curious about that one. So there, I don't know. Is this today? There's a sign. Regular self-parking at theme parks has increased from $30 to $35 per car or motorcycle. Oversized vehicle parking.
The obvious question is, motorcycles take up less space. Why are they more?
I don't know. That's really weird.
Unbelievable.
Look at. Let's stay at the park. Do you get charged every day you park?
Yes.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Now, okay, if you stay in one of the Disney hotels, you get free parking as an incentive. So this is if you're staying off property and you're driving in. As a pass holder, you don't pay for parking. So that is one of the huge perks of being a pass holder. And I have to say that the lowest pass, you actually pay less per month. I pay less per month for my annual pass at Disney than a day of parking. So it's $27 per month for what I pay as a local Floridian. You have to be a Floridian to get this deal. $27 per month. Well, it's $35 for a day of parking. So that's, you can see where I benefit from being a local, right?
Yeah.
That's a great deal.
Yeah. So
it could be worse. I was reading an article the other day about many hotels, particularly in Vegas, charging what they're calling not the resort fee, but some other name for it, a special local fee. Even if you don't have a car, they're charging the same amount they charge for parking.
Oh, that's
an
weird.
Extra fee. Oh, well, they have,
unless you gamble, maybe. I don't know.
No.
Let's look at some of the food
motels.
Let's look at some of the food price increases. Food prices increased by 50 cents for these little snack things like Mickey pretzels. Mickey pretzel, $7.99 to $8.50. A Dole Whip pineapple cup from $5.49 to $5.79. The popcorn standard souvenir bucket, not the decorative one, went from $13 to $14.29, and a refill is now $2.50 instead of $2.19. So $2.50 for a popcorn refill. The big ones. Here's the big ones: bottled soda and vitamin water, $5.29 to $5.50 for a bottle of Coke.
It just goes to show you that smart water, it doesn't work if you're going to pay a quarter more for it.
Didn't they take away some of the complimentary beverage service too? Weren't there some services?
I'm waiting for him to have a swipe slot by the water fountain someday,
Charge for the bathrooms like in Europe.
Yeah.
Well, you can still get water for free. So at least there is that, right? And then I want to focus
but it's
on
dumb water, Ron. You don't want to drink dumb water.
Stupid water that got held back in the third grade.
The stupid one. But I get it. I'm smart, and I get it from Starbucks, where it's filtered water and it's much bigger. So
See,
you do have to wait in the Starbucks line. But if you go to a Starbucks inside a Disney park and you want really good, crisp, clean, filtered water for free, go to Starbucks.
That's a
very
great
nice.
hack.
It is. It's. Look, I can't tell visitors from out of town how to save money on the resorts or tickets or any of that, because unless you're staying long enough to justify the, I think it's $1,649 for an annual pass now if you're from out of state and you're not DVC. Like, it's highest price pass. That's the only one available. You have to pay for that up front. Now, depending on the type of Disney World vacation you're taking, if you can afford that, it's probably more beneficial to do it that way. You'd have to buy, let's say you buy your entire family that annual pass. So $1,734, $6,800 for your annual passes. Now, you don't have to worry about the dates that you go. Maybe you're going several times to Disney World in a year. Then that could possibly make sense. But again, you're looking at families that now are in the upper echelon in income range, because that's not your average family. Your average family can't pluck down $7,000 all at one time in cash for annual passes just so they can. But
you can charge it on a Disney credit card and pay them the interest.
That's true. But in order to qualify for that credit card, you have to have exceptionally good credrit.
And when you sign it, you're saying that if you get food poisoning and die, you can't sue them. Anyway,
that is true. That's very, very true, unfortunately. So we're going to share another story, though. This one is out of a little place we know as thatparkplace.com. Disney World announces another Lightning Lane price increase, but this is important. It's despite the record low park attendance. Now, this is the one thing that I keep saying. I'll go in chats on Facebook and Facebook groups, and people are they just seem bound and determined to they just seem bound and determined to want that Lightning Lane. And I just don't know why, because in so many situations, unless you're going Christmas Day, if you want to be there on Christmas Day, which I think makes you kind of a weirdo, but I understand the idea of maybe once in a lifetime you want to be at the Magic Kingdom on Christmas Day. That's your thing, right? It's going to cost you a lot of money. And if you want to ride anything on that day, you probably will need a Lightning Lane, because it's typically the busiest day of the year. I have been at the Magic Kingdom on Christmas Day, not as a guest, but as an employee, as a cast member.
I don't go places when they're crowded. I can't do it. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt, Ron, because I'm looking at the chat. And this Go and Shogi guy, boy, is he funny. He says the dope water comes in a Rachel Ziegler bottle, and it's the size of her career.
Why am I missing these things?
Touche, Go and
Shogi. There it is. Give him your dope water.
It's so funny. You're killing me, Shogi.
Hey, he's the one who gave me the idea for the shirt, for the Reedy Creek shirt. I think it was hilarious.
Was that a paid one? Was that a super chat? Best super chat.
No, he's a wrench. He doesn't super chat. He also serves a lonely stand-in wrench.
I think he's gifted more memberships than anybody else on the channel, so he's perfectly. He's got all his supers built up. It's all good. Yeah, my support, and he's also a great guy. I talk to him all the time on the phone, and he survived. Well, fortunately, his neighborhood was okay during the California fires and such. But always saying my prayers for Going Shogi, and he gets to cater anything that I ever do. I was going to joke with him the other day. I said, "Hey, Going Shogi, you and I, we need to make our plans now to move to Texas, and we can both be a part of Zachary Levi's new studio complex thing that he wants to do out there. He wants to. Zachary Levi is trying to build a studio town in Texas where it has housing, schooling, grocery shops, all the stuff that's available, and basically he's trying to get a lot of the movie business away from the Hollywood
better be careful
scene.
because if the wrong people get in charge in Washington, they'll do a Waco on him.
Well, and
they're not incendiary.
Yeah, when you're building something like that, it can also come across sort of cult-like, and so he's also got to be careful with that. But he's talking about bringing in people from different backgrounds, different faiths, and it's basically a place that where you can work and live, so that if you are in the movie business and you want to work and live in the same place, you can, kind of thing. I have no idea what he's going to do there, but it's going to be interesting for sure if it works out. It's supposed to be like a 750-acre complex.
Somebody's asking me, didn't studios used to have setups like that, strings and pucks? Yes, they did, my friend. But they had, well, not so much living, but certainly schools on campus on the studios, because the laws, you see, I know we all know Jackie Coogan as Uncle Fester on the original Addams Family, but what most people don't know is that he was an amazingly successful child actor, and his parents stole all the money he made. And I mean, he made millions as a child actor. And so the state of California jumped in with a thing called the Jackie Coogan law that limits the access to the money for parents and guardians, and also limits how many hours a day they can work and what the conditions are and how they have to be schooled. So all of that, yes, they provided that sort of thing, especially for children. As far as living, some people, I mean, I know when I was doing a show at, let's see, where was it? At Warner Brothers. And one of the stars was a guy who lived in Santa Barbara. They bought his hotel room for the week when he came in to do the show. But that's, on an individual basis. So anyway, Hollywood does all kinds of strange things. Right now, they're just trying to keep people employed somehow.
Well, Hollywood and certainly Netflix definitely does stranger things. So you got it. You picked up on it. So what are they doing at Disney World? So you got lightning lanes. This is by a guy named Ron E. Bradley over there at that Park Place.
Who?
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
I know.
If it gets any more familiar.
Handsome devil.
I was going over this morning, and I couldn't believe it as I was writing it and researching it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. On October 8th, 2025, that's the day Walt Disney World announced a record-setting price increase for its skip-the-line service Lightning Lane. While price hikes are nothing new at Disney, especially at the start of the company's fiscal year, that's now, this round of increases comes at a time when attendance across the Florida parks has dropped to some of the lowest levels in years. The new pricing takes effect on October 29th, raising costs by up to $6 per person per park for Lightning Lane multi-passes and between $1 to $3 per person for a single pass selection. Notably, last year, the new Lightning Lane system replaced Genie Plus, which in 2021 replaced the pre-lockdown era Fast Pass plus a complimentary person.
Complimentary. I love that word. I was at my dentist's office the other morning, and while I was waiting on the TV in the waiting room, there was a furniture store ad that said, we have complimentary designers. And I thought, does that mean when you walk in the store, they say, oh, that hairstyle is so you and your dress is fantastic. Now let me sell you some furniture, complimentary.
Complimentary, yes. I can't really say that they were free fast passes because you paid for them, but they were included in the ticket price.
Right.
So you look at this now. Okay, so no, these prices fluctuate daily. The following represent the current maximum prices. Okay, so Magic Kingdom is now $45 per person per day and this is the multi-pass, so it doesn't necessarily get you on every attraction you want. Previously $39 and $29 at the launch in 2024. I put that as the launch 2024 to distinguish the new Lightning Lane upgrade from Genie Plus.
Right.
Because when it started as Genie Plus, I think it was like $17 now. So $17 to $45 in like what, 4 years? It's crazy. Epcot $37, Disney Hollywood Studios $39, and Animal Kingdom $35 for 5 rides.
Yeah. Yeah. Take that and your 150 admission and divide it by 5, and that's how much a ride is worth.
Yeah, and
you got to walk a mile through Walt Disney World to get to those rides because of all the construction going on, or not going on. At least,
well, we're going to talk about that, and we're going to show that in just a minute. So there's no price for the Elite. Okay, so no price change for the Elite. One of the more unusual aspects of the Lightning Lane system. This really bothers me at Walt Disney World. This bothers me to no end, by the way. Because if you go over to Universal, they also have a skip the line system, and it does cost a lot of money, but it's only one line and only one cost. They only have one type of skip the line system. So let's say it costs you $350 for the day. Well, guess what? That allows you to go to the front of the line of every attraction pretty much as many times as you want.
Really?
I always forget the name of their system, but it's somebody can say it in the chat. I'm sure somebody knows.
It's called the poop on the peon system.
Yeah.
But they like alliteration at Disney. They like to make it rhyme. So,
but see, the thing is at Disney, so there's people buying the multi-pass system, then there's people buying the Premier Pass system, which is 10 times the cost. But those people get into the same line as the people that only paid $45. So the people that paid $450 extra dollars for the day are getting in the same line as people that only paid $45 for that privilege. And the only difference is that the $45 people pick it off their phone and they have to hope it's available and whatever. But it's a ridiculous system. So all guests paying for any of these ultimately use the same Lightning Lane queue. The difference lies in availability and access. Guests who purchase the multi-pass may find some attractions unavailable for selection, while those who opt for the Premier Pass gain access to every Lightning Lane attraction once per day, provided the experience is operating. Which, by the way, a lot of them aren't. You might go there on a day. I mean, right now, Big Thunder's not operating. Tiana's Bayou Adventure, you're lucky if it's operating. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Pirates of the Caribbean goes down all the time. I mean, it's constant things going down. Tron goes down all the time.
And especially with them shortening the hours, which they're doing at all the parks for the holidays, for God's sakes. That's telling you, if you're a local and you used to go over like 5, 6 o'clock and enjoy the evening, you're not going to get your money's worth in 3 or 4 hours. You really aren't.
No. Now, so the Premier Pass prices remain the same, but look at what they are. Per person, per day at the Magic Kingdom, the Premier Lightning Lane Pass is $449 on top of your ticket, which costs now $219, I think. So now you're paying almost $700 per person per day at the Magic Kingdom, which is crazy. And then a 55% increase just since last year's, but I'm not going to read all that. I want to skip down to this. This is what I want to skip down to. These hikes come amid a sharp decline in attendance.
Yep.
According to Deirdre Bardolph of Fox 35 News, and I put there's a link in there. Quote, Walt Disney World logged its slowest 3-week stretch of the year in September, putting it on track to be the quietest month since 2021. By the way, what was happening in 2021 is that was during the lockdown era.
It was so quiet, there was nobody there because it was locked down.
Yeah, and I think they were only allowing like 20% attendance at that time. So crowd tracker data for mid-August through mid-September shows the average waits dropped to about 24 minutes per ride, even shorter than during the July 4th holiday, according to posted times from Disney's My Disney Experience app, and aggregated by third-party tracker Thrill data. So they brought the receipts for this. It's not just that it's not just somebody saying, oh, the parks look like they're down. No, it's not that all day. And James all day asks, who do you think is behind the high prices? I don't know. I mean, I think Bob Iger probably they pass to his desk and he signs off on them. I
4
don't
or
even know
5
if
times a day.
Yeah, but he might have
One for
he
each
might have
shower.
auto pen. Maybe he's borrowing Biden's auto pen. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares, honestly. You can look at some of the.
Bob's in the shower. He can't talk to you right now.
Let me see. How do I put this up?
He consults the magic hippo for his advice.
Let me.
No, but see, I was reading an article, watching a video, I guess it was earlier today, of a guy who covers Vegas. And the guy's annoying, so I won't give you the link. But his content was that in that case, the casinos were intentionally pricing people with less income out of the market because they didn't spend money at the tables the way the richer people did. Disney has no such excuse. Although I guess they'll start putting gaming in too.
A family thing. It was their family reunion, and the big sell for everyone who hated gambling was all the cheap food in the 90s, like these amazing buffets. And,
oh yeah, not anymore.
We went to the Luxor. I had stuffed crab and fried chicken. It was the greatest thing ever.
Well, I will give everybody a tip though. The way to beat the buffet stuff in Vegas, find out what time they switch from quote unquote lunch to quote unquote dinner, and go in at the lunch price about half an hour before dinner starts and stay. And suddenly the crab legs and everything come out for dinner and you've paid the lunch price. So there's your Vegas money saving tip of the day for you. If you want to go there, which I don't anymore.
So as you can see from the footage, this is literally what's going on in the parks. You've got massive construction walls, right? This is surrounding the rivers of America at the Magic Kingdom. It's Drew the Disney dude did a whole walk from one end to the other and posted it on X, and he said it takes 4 minutes, but the guy walks fast. and he's a young guy. I don't walk that fast.
I don't walk anywhere in 4 minutes. I don't walk to my bedroom in 4 minutes, for God's sakes.
It's a long walk. It's probably, I don't know, half a mile, 3, 4, or 5 football field lengths. And here's what you get.
There's so much to see along the way if you like walls.
Yeah, let me see if I can find here. Let me get that off. I want to see if I can find a different footage. But video. Let me see. There's Rivers of America. No, that one's the first ones. Let me see. What is this one? So here you can see the berm that they have up in front of the Rivers of America. There you go. This is the one I wanted. Yeah, where I was walking along. So they blocked the river now. This is what you're paying $200 a day for at the Magic Kingdom right now. Is this the walkway still there? I guess. Yay.
Every time I see this, I remember many years ago flying into the Reno airport, and they were about to start renovating it. So you came off the plane and you walked and you walked and you walked and you walked through all these halls, and you finally got to baggage claim. But if you looked, there were 3 baggage claim areas because there were 3 airlines. I think it was Western and PSA and I don't know, maybe United. But the deal was they weren't separating the baggage in those 3 areas. It was one continuous conveyor. They just had different lights. They were separating the passengers based on what airline. So they were, I mean, yeah, it's just all those magical memories that we all want to make with our children and our grandchildren. And
little did we realize back then we were making memories.
Right.
Man, I tell you what, this is what, let me see if I can put this up here. What these walls replaced. This is what it was looking like before. It was pretty sad. The worst part is this is going to be there for years.
They should have had Leslie Nielsen
years.
show up as the Swamp Fox. Swamp Fox, tail on his hat. Remember that, anybody? Or am I the oldest person on the planet? I tell you.
Well, I was going to post this earlier. Am I the oldest person on the planet, or does anybody else remember Sticks, Bear, and Fuller? I don't know why that came to my mind. Do either of you know what's okay? So Sticks, Bear, and Fuller. I don't know if it was only local to St. Louis or not, but the store Dillard's bought them out. If you've heard of the Dillard's department store, and I believe that Macy's bought out Dillard's since then. So
Dillard's, the closest Dillard's to LA was Phoenix, I think. They weren't anywhere in LA way back when. Because I know my mother used to like their clothes, and she would order from them online when they got online because she couldn't go to the store. So anyway.
So yes, that's why it's one of those things where it's like Famous and Bar, Sticks, Bear, and Fuller back in the day. Everybody, Woolworths, everybody. It was everything was somebody's last name. I guess Macy's is probably somebody's last name, right, Mr. Macy?
Yeah, sure.
Watch Miracle on 34th Street.
Right.
That's what I was thinking of. Actually, was. But did you?
Well, the old expression was, "Does Macy's tell Gimbals?" Because they were such dire opponents. They were the Yankees and the Red Sox.
There is. I'm looking for. That's Pirate. Oh, there it is. This is what I wanted to show. These walls in Hollywood studios. And by the way, these walls are everywhere. I need to get. I have photographs, but not B-roll of the walls in Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is crazy. It's like a maze.
These walls are ever gonna upgrade them. I guess they figure those fabric walls are cheaper to replace than repainting wooden ones or something. But it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, the worst part is, and I don't know. They used to have a lot of quotes, like Walt Disney quotes, when they had construction walls up.
Yeah.
Now it's like they're more like just.
Now it would have to be Walt in a Greta Thunberg wig saying, "How dare you!
How dare you!"
Give that lady a helmet.
If I could get away with it, I would sneak into the parks with a Greta Thunberg poster saying, "How dare you!" and very sneakily put it up in there. But there's so many cameras.
But you're being watched. But they probably fired all those people too.
No, I don't know.
Who watches the watchers?
I don't know, but I have seen the security room underneath the Magic Kingdom that's in the Utilidors, and let me tell you, there are. And there's lots of security rooms, by the way. There's one right under the train station.
Right.
If you've ever seen a door, like if you go back towards where you rent the strollers and you see a door that says cast members only, that particular cast member door goes to a security station. There's lots of security stations like that all over. So I would say that they probably do have enough security guards. Because it's the one area where Disney doesn't seem to want to skip.
Except if there's a brawl. Then they
Except
don't have enough.
then it's the cast members coming out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
A dude in the ladies' restroom. There's usually not security.
That's just it's so hard for Disney to fight that though, because of now they have a policy that basically invites that kind of activity. And
brought to you by Tux.
Unfortunately. But yeah, so here we are with all these different construction walls all over, and again the prices, it's just through the roof. The entry price, I mean, the only way that I can see that they're offsetting any of this is with all of the bars that they're building, and they're building so many bars everywhere. Of course, they just opened the Beacon Barrel at the Magic Kingdom, and they've got another.
There is a level of diminishing returns, though, because if you paid all that just to get in the door, have you got any money left for $30 cocktails?
Yeah, I don't know. I want to finish up by reading this last part of the article. The Disney difference I don't know how many people here like are very familiar with the term the Disney difference, but 10 years ago, when I went to work for Disney Vacation Club, DVC, 2014, that is what they really pushed us to learn was the Disney difference, because we would sell Disney and the Disney Vacation Club and the whole idea of timeshare at Disney being different than anything else they've ever experienced, and having Disney being different than anything else. And the Disney difference meant it was Disney's way of basically, we were saying we're better than everybody else, and but we could bring the receipts. We could say this is why, and it's not the case anymore. So I'm just going to read this. The Disney difference is different now. From the introduction of Genie Plus in 2021 to the launching of Lightning Lane just over a year ago, and now to the latest round of price hikes, Walt Disney World feels markedly different from the park experience of a decade ago. The Disney difference once referred to exceptional resort quality, spotless parks, and friendly cast members who made the experience truly magical. It also included perks like the Disney Dining Plan, free resort-wide transportation, and complimentary FastPass Plus reservations. So what's different now? Higher prices, declining quality, extensive construction walls in 3 of the 4 parks, and costly Lightning Lane system that many guests find confusing and, given the current low crowds, arguably unnecessary. It seems the Disney difference has become something the company no longer wants to be associated with. Perhaps it's time that families looking for a truly premium theme park vacation experience look for something, well, different.
And there's options so close.
Yeah. There's one option very close that is, dare I say, epic. I want to see what Dan says here. Says, yeah, James all day. Tomorrow is next on the list. Part of the problem. That's true. Yeah, it's a dying company. These are desperate moves, keep it afloat while everything else is failing in their company. It's true.
But they're going to have an Abu Dhabi honeymoon.
Oh, that's true. Dan can chime in the chat because I know he was there recently. What is it like going to Disney versus going to now the brand new Epic Universe? You know, put it in the chat and I'll put it up on the screen.
Ron, as I've said before, it's not just Epic Universe. So many people who, for whatever reason, were Disney, only Disney, especially because they had a free bus ride to and from and no transportation to get anywhere else, which they stupidly threw away.
Yep.
They're not just discovering Epic. They're discovering studios, and they're discovering islands, and they're discovering Volcano Bay, and they're discovering hotels and City Walk. And suddenly it's like, where's all this been? Answer, it's been here all along. You only had to click your heels 3 times and say there's no place like home.
Well, and here is what I really truly think is going to happen. Anybody who does experience Disney right now with the price hikes and the walls everywhere, they're going to talk about it. People, you know this. It's an old adage. If you love something, you might tell 1 or 2 people. If you hate something, you're going to tell at least 10, right? So if people are expecting the old Disney experience, somebody that came to Disney 10 years ago and comes back now, they're going to tell people about it, but also it's going to put people off, and people are going to say, well, let's look at what we have, our options. If you take the Universal option right now, you have your option of going to 3 Universal parks and a water park. But if you also add SeaWorld to that, which is in the same geography, okay, then you have a 4th park, an animal-centric park with rides, a lot more rides than Animal Kingdom, by the way, and really cool animals with dolphins and manatees and walruses. And so very, very cool SeaWorld park, plus another water park. So you have, within the same geographical space, and actually a tighter geographical space, if you looked on a map, you'd see it, are 4 parks, 3 Universal plus SeaWorld, plus 2 water parks, the Volcano Bay and Aquatica.
And if you pop for the higher end hotels, you get all that FastPass stuff free.
That's true. All of that comes along with it. Go and Shogi for $5. It's a tremendous lack of pride in people's work. If you don't care what you're doing, the product will inevitably be subpar. That seems like what has been going on, because ever since they created the inclusion key, Disney's hiring process has changed a lot. And I know this from personal experience. Okay. I worked with a person, and don't want to give away the person's name or anything like that, but I worked with a person at Disney. The person that I worked with, let's say that they chose an identity that was different from their birth biology. Is that the best way that I can say that?
God,
and
I almost understood what you said.
that person decided that they were no longer fit for the role that they were in, and so they transferred. And you want to know where they were able to transfer to? The hiring department.
Oh.
So now that person is in charge of bringing on other people who also meet the qualification of inclusion. So yeah, that's what Disney is far more concerned with. I do not believe that they are primarily concerned with the guest experience and with creating magical moments for families. I believe that individual cast members, some of those people absolutely are. But as far as the corporation is concerned with virtue signaling and pleasing their corporate sponsors, their corporate donors, the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, and whoever else is in charge of. And I don't give financial advice, by the way. No financial advice on the channel, but yeah, the individual stockholder is not in charge of that company at all and has very little say when it comes to the people that actually have the say. People that have the control and hold the reins, it's the BlackRocks and Vanguards and State Streets and those corporate shareholders. So,
You have to remember that people in denial will buy anything to justify their silliness. The great example of this that I remember from the past, I don't know if anybody is old enough to remember a thing called Abscam, where the FBI set up a fake Arab sheik in a townhouse in Georgetown, and they invited various Congress people to see if they'd take a bribe. And they set up this room, and in those days, technology was less. So it was this room in the basement that one wall was entirely mirrors, and it was one way, and the lights had to be very bright for them to make their video of these people. And one congressman said, "How come it's so bright in here?" And they said, "It reminds the sheik of his desert homeland, son." And the guy bought it and took the money. That's the stretch to which people will go to justify their mendacity. So, I'm always saying nobody goes out to make something bad, but they may not know what good or bad is. So
you're saying that they were trying to remind the sheik, like he was in Egypt, as if he were in denial.
There you go. I knew you'd find something like that.
Go and Chogi. Let's celebrate this real quick. Let's do the Wookiee celebration. We like that one. Get ready, guys. Celebrate with us. Wookiee Day. Just as we're closing one celebration, we got another one with Maravita chiming in with $4.99. Disney is a disaster, and they have struck again. The only creativity is in the accounting department. The rest is just a bunch of, as culture would say, baloney sausage, which means we deserve Culture Bear.
keep meaning to ask him if that's Mexico City in the background at the beginning of that clip. Looks
It
like it.
might be. I don't know. I definitely know that I showed that to him and made sure I got his permission before I ever used it. So I was like, culture, can I use it? Yay. Yeah, speaking of which, we've got one more story that I want to get to. And for this story, again, if you're going to Disney, I personally, I think I would suggest people would have more fun right now if they were going to Universal, if they're coming here to Orlando. But if you are going to Disney, make sure that you go with
Lowered expectations.
it's the
Poor
only
couple.
it's the only way to go right now.
Wow.
Animal Kingdom now down to just 5 rides as Disney World continues to charge full price.
But they are. When are they opening the Zootopia thing in the tree?
November the 7th.
Yeah, there you go. So there'll be 6. Oh boy.
It's not really a ride.
No.
It's it's tough to be a bug. Have you seen It's Tough to Be a Bug?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember the last part where the roaches ran across your butt and you felt it?
Yeah.
They
moved that effect. It's now in the hotels.
Yeah,
but anyway,
sounds like my brother's honeymoon.
Well, the funny thing is, of all the things that often don't work in the parks, that always did. Which I always found funny. It's like the one thing that consistently works is the cockroaches. So I guess that makes sense. So here it is.
Well, I remember sitting there at the Blue Bayou at Disneyland with my family when the ride broke down. And they stopped the ride and they turned on all the work lights so you could see all the ceiling and the piping and everything. Mm-hmm. They turned off the music, but they left the bug and bird sounds on. And that got a little oppressive as you finished your dinner, I got to tell you.
I had a good meal once at the Blue Bayou, but it's been a long time. 2012.
Yeah, it was always a good place.
Okay, so Walt Disney World's Animal Kingdom just got even smaller. This, by the way, is by Marvin Montanaro, I believe. Yes, Marvin Montanaro. All right, so Walt Disney World's Animal Kingdom just got even smaller, which is ironic since it is, in fact, the largest park. Technically, because of the
acreage involved in the animal.
Serengeti, the safari. October 6th, 2025. Guests visiting the park are finding themselves with only 5 operating rides in the entire park and shockingly short wait times across the board. So this is weird. I went there the other day to Animal Kingdom, and in fact, the wait time for the premier ride of the park, the what is typically known as the best ride in that park, which is Pandora, the Flight of Passage, the wait time was 25 minutes. Which is like nothing. That ride has seen wait times of up to literally 8 hours, which is nuts. I know, it's just pretty weird. So according to WDW Magic, the park's signature raft ride went down for maintenance today and is scheduled to reopen in December, end quote. The refurbishment marks an unusually early start for the attraction's annual downtime. In past years, the closure typically ran from January to March. January 6th to March 13th in 2025, January 8th to March 14th in 2024, and January 10th to February 26th in 2023. So you can see it's going down really, really early. By the way, this is a photo that I took right here. And this is called dirt.
That's not the boneyard. They didn't invite you in there to dig in the dirt and dig things up.
The boneyard is actually on the other fence, and boy, I don't think I have a picture of it here.
Well, I was just joking, but I remember taking a friend from Florida to Disneyland, and in Fantasmic, when they said pachyderm, he asked me later, why did they say bag of dirt? So everybody has their own perception. Anyway,
if I can bring it up, though, I do have a fairly recent photo of what the boneyard currently looks like, and it is. I mean, it's not there; it's all destruction. But
them bones, them dry bones.
I'm trying to see if There's so many
tomorrow.
photos that I have taken recently of all of this just horribly bad experience. I mean, it's going to Disney World right now. It's crazy how much I've never seen this much construction all at once. In the past, what they've done is they've done one park at a time, right? So they focus on did New Fantasyland, and then they did the Animal Kingdom stuff. Then they did the Epcot stuff. So it's just
we saw how that turned out.
It's none of it's turned out particularly great. That's for sure.
Well, the biggest thing for me about the Epcot disaster, people like water. People like fountains. I give you Bellagio. I give you so many other places like that. And then, my God, the stuff at Epic at night with the lights and what does Epcot do? Well, let's rip it out. We don't need it.
Hey, is this power washer safe to use on the lights?
Yeah, right.
All right.
I guess we should be thankful they want to power wash something, considering how dirty a lot of stuff is over there now.
You guys want to see the current state of the boneyard? Let's see if this works.
There it is. Now, if they'd given the kids bulldozers, they could have kept that ride going a lot longer because they'd love it.
It looks like a scene from a Vietnam-era war movie.
So
well, that's funny because on the Pro Show last night, Jeremy, I said basically the if those are old enough to remember the Vietnam era, there was a phrase: we had to destroy the village in order to save it. That's the modus operandi of a lot of stuff at Disney now.
It looks exactly like stuff from Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah,
honestly, oh my gosh.
So this picture I took, now they have this walled off, but what you're seeing there, the greenery in the bottom, are fake shrubs, which were temporary construction wall shrubbery that they had brought in. But I mean, I was able to easily just look over the top of that and see this. Now they've got all that behind actually a much taller wall, so you would have to put your camera on like a pole or something to take a picture of it. But that is, in fact, that was the boneyard, and it was just I took it because I was so heartbroken. That particular play area was just absolutely amazing, and I've never experienced a kids play area that good in my life. So it's sad that it's gone. This, on the other hand, when I first saw this, I swear to you, I thought I was going to see Jeff Goldblum walk up behind it and say, "That is one big pile of dirt." Because that's the feeling, and it's ironic because it's in Dino Land, so it's there you go. Wow. Disney reportedly moved the timeline forward to ensure the ride is available before Dinosaur closes on February 2nd, 2026 for the conversion to the upcoming Tropical Americas expansion. Located in the Asia section of the park, Cali River Rapids takes guests on a whitewater rafting trip through dense jungle and logging scenes, leaving many completely soaked. It's expected to reopen before the holiday season, though no firm reopening date has been announced. So here's the park. This is what's open right now. With Cali River Rapids down, the park is currently operating. Here are the 5 rides: Avatar Flight of Passage, Dinosaur, which you have to walk through these walls to get to, Expedition Everest, Kilimanjaro Safaris, and the Navi River Journey. And the Navi River Journey, the coolest thing about that is the animatronic at the end of it, and that's no longer there. So yeah. But what is there is, and some may consider this an attraction, there is the Dino Land maze. So now, if you want to go to anything that's still left in Dino Land, like Dinosaur, all you have to do is navigate the construction wall maze, and what fun time that is.
Stay on target.
So look at this. It's practically, the data tells the story. 3:35 p.m. on the October 6th, the live crowd tracking site, WDW Passport, listed Animal Kingdom's crowd level at just 2, near record lows for a weekday afternoon. And look, Flight of Passage, 40-minute wait. Dinosaur 5, Expedition Everest 20, Kilimanjaro Safari's 10, and Navi River
Meet
Journey
the Pals
40.
is not an attraction. It's just
it's just a meet and greet. And by the way, those times are always longer because they do a good job with the meet and greets. I mean, your character interaction is usually like 2, 3, 4 minutes long per party. So I'm never going to say anything bad about the character interactions because those are actually some of the best things that you get at Disney. It's
and by the way, as flashy as the Navi River, etc., is, I still think Expedition Everest is the best ride in the park by far.
Oh yes, even with the Yeti being the Disco Yeti, you know, I will say this. I've said this before. I'll say it again. My best experiences as a cast member, and the thing that I will treasure forever, and this is the part of Disney, working at Disney, that I absolutely loved, is as a cast member, you get the privilege of being able to go on special backstage cast member only tours. You cannot do these if you don't work for the company. And Expedition Everest was one of those tours, and it was really, really cool. So I have been underneath the mountain and seen how it's held up with everything. And we had the explanation of why they can't change the Yeti without taking the entire thing down. The way the Yeti, the animatronic Yeti, was built into the construction of it, it's basically part of the foundation stuff that holds it up.
Which says that even back then,
right?
They weren't smart enough to think it might have to be done someday.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it shook the whole structure enough when it was operating that it began to it began to crumble the foundation. So that's why they had to stop it, and they can't really do anything to it. They would literally have to disassemble the entire ride, completely destroy it, demolish it, rebuild it from the beginning if they wanted to have that Yeti ever work again. So it will probably always operate as Disco Yeti. At least that was the explanation I got. But I can tell you this, we did the walking tour of it, and I've touched Disco Yeti with my own hands, reached out. Can't take a picture of it because you're backstage. You're not allowed to. That's fine. But I'll always have the memory. So that was really cool.
You'll always have the Yeti. You didn't, but now you do, right?
Yes. Well,
you wore blue, Yeti. The Yeti wore gray.
Maravita comes in for $9.99. Now for my real thoughts. Okay, and we really appreciate this one. This is a good one. They have priced families out of the parks for a dismal experience versus the old days. Eventually, they will be a retreat for only the elite, and the elite don't want to go. I agree. I see.
Yeah, Maravita, it's got to be almost a year ago now that somebody priced out the difference between going to Disney for New York City and going to, South Pacific. Which one?
Bora Bora?
Yeah, I think it was Bora Bora, for one of those villas out on stilts over the water and whatever. And even with the airfare and everything else, it was cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Cheaper to go have a real experience in Bora Bora than to rent per night the DVC Bora Bora bungalows at the
There you go. Exactly. Not the real thing, but an incredible simulation. Bora Bora Mania by Disney.
We've had incredible support today from all of you guys, so thank you so much for chiming in. Before we say goodbye to everybody, I think we deserve one long celebration. Everybody get ready in the chat. Get ready with your emojis. Let's celebrate.
Too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo!
Oh, this is so nice. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. It's making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy.
look at that. During that celebration, we hit the goal. Thank you to Maravita. So, Maravita, well, I guess what happened was...
But you wanted more?
You wanted more. Going to Cabo for a destination wedding, and it's cheaper than Disney. Wow. Cabo San Lucas, nicer and cheaper than Disney. That is amazing.
Just don't drink the smart water.
Or you might get smart diarrhea.
Or the Rachel Zegler water. Definitely don't drink anything marked Rachel Zegler water. That would be bad. And for the goal, the other thing you don't want to happen if you're drinking the wrong thing is you're going to get too drunk and end up like this guy.
So I think what happened is I went to Epcot. You can go around the whole world, and I had a couple in the Germany section, and I thought I went to China. Anyway, I'm a knucklehead. But I'm sure this guy has some things he'd want to, back out of as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure that Bob Iger has a lot of things he'd like to back out of, but he'll never tell us what they are. That's for
Avengers
sure.
Doomsday.
Little Mermaid.
LW, Go and Shogi, can you put the LW Ghost Patreon
And while we were talking, the wonderful Strings and Pucks, Jeremy Laura, joined up, and I thank him for that publicly. I did it privately already, but come on, it's the in thing to do, everybody.
It's the in
Come
thing
on
to
along.
do. Come on
Getting in
along.
early.
So we've got let's see, it's patreon.com. I'm gonna put it
Lose
up
views.
HTTP. Yes. There
Anyway,
it is. Join Lou on his Patreon. Lou's views. There it is. Patreon.com.
I don't know what the CW is. Everybody, Vash was putting it up, but it works well, but I don't know what that is. So anyway,
it must be the how to join up goes to that page. Anyway,
maybe.
So Lou's views. He's going to give you some insights on things that only a ghost can give you. And what else? What else is going on?
What else? Well, we're doing, the Genre Guys and my show with Vash on Sundays. And we've been doing the Genre Guys 2 at a time every other week because everybody's so busy between Lauren and Hangry and everybody. By the way, I'm going to be on Lauren and Apollo's show on Friday night when we're doing a show about the best movie soundtracks ever. That should be fun. But we did an interesting double feature, or we're about to, on Genre Guys. We're going to do, are you ready? How's this? This was Lauren's idea, and I thought it was brilliant. We're going to do Vertigo, and we're going to do High Anxiety.
Oh, God.
Awesome.
How's that for a coupling? I mean, they'll play on different weeks, but still, that should be fascinating and genius of Lauren to figure that one out. So,
okay, so I am curious how the movies that I went over with you. Any good comments on those?
Yeah, quite a few. And speaking of comments, your trip to the dockside in Jacksonville is worth everybody's visiting because that's a kick butt place. I tell you, super seafood, super views of the ocean, and you can even boat up to it. What fun!
Let me tell you something that in the editing of that, I got really upset with myself. Because in editing it, I took a closer look at some of the signs and some of the menus and some of the things I didn't see when I was actually there. I have a tendency. There was a Mahi Reuben available that day.
Hey, you got to go back and have more, I tell you.
And I'm like, how did I not get the Mahi Reuben? Two of my favorite things put together. But the clams, the fried clams, were absolutely to die for. Go and Shogi, if you have the link.
Blackened nachos. Oh God, they're so great.
Blackened shrimp nachos. That's why they're on the thumbnail. The blackened shrimp nachos. They're super fantastic. So that was a great place, and I hope to go back and enjoy.
Good beer list too, by the way. Very good local beers.
And it's just a stone's throw away from Jacksonville Beach, which happens to be really beautiful. I didn't realize that the East Coast of Florida had also had some nice, very wide white sand beaches, and Jacksonville Beach is actually mimics some of the beaches on the Gulf Coast, but with bigger waves, with
well, and more vulnerability to storms when they come in that way. But even so,
that's par for the course. By the way, this has been a really calm year when it comes to storms. I think this was was like a record low year for like no hurricanes hit the coast. Like it's really weird.
From your lips to God's ears for the rest of the year.
Well, it's one of those things where you just can't blame global warming. However, those people that have, science has already debunked that anyway, where they say, no, look, the fact of the matter is there's more things that have been built in the last 100 years. So unfortunately, whenever there's a weather event, there's more destruction that's going to take place. Not because the weather events are bigger. It's just that
there's more to destroy. Exactly.
Yeah, it's really that's as a matter of fact, if Missouri ever has an earthquake on the level that they had back in the 1800s, it's going to be disastrous, absolutely disastrous.
Well, I've always been reading about earthquakes in Missouri and in the Southeast. And part of the reason why they'll be so destructive is they don't have the building codes that California has put in, for example. You can say a lot negative about California, but they have really, really, really beefed up the building codes there to withstand earthquakes. So,
there you go. I was reading they're doing some amazing reconstruction out west of some of the older structures out there and putting a seismic, structures in to help offset seismic activity. Jeremy, what do you got going on?
So I had this incredible breakthrough. A company sponsored one of my last videos, a guitar.
Oh my gosh!
Saw my videos, and they're sending me a guitar to.
Wow!
So yeah, they liked my singing videos so much they wanted to see me do it with an electric instead of acoustic. So I was sending a guitar out of New York. So really exciting.
And is that something that you're showing on your channel?
Oh yes, yeah. So on my acoustic coffee shop, you'll see in the next couple weeks I'll be doing an electric coffee shop. I'll be singing 7 Spanish Angels was the request. So Willie Nelson song, Willie Nelson, Ray Charles.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Congratulations
very, very
on
cool.
that.
Do they make good tacos, these angels? That's what I want to know.
They're not much good in a gunfight, I'll tell you that, Lou.
Oh, well,
So go and check out Strings and Pucks. There's the link. Go and show you put that in the chat. And then Maravita says, I live on the only section of the Mississippi River that runs east and west. Well, I didn't live on the Mississippi River, but of course I grew up in St. Louis. So we went down to the Mississippi all the time to the riverbank. Went to the riverboat McDonald's.
Did you see that they turn off the lights on the arch this time of year so they don't distract the migrating birds? I thought that was fascinating. Fascinating.
The entire structure of the arch, the whole story of the arch, fascinates me. And even if I didn't grow up in St. Louis, I think that it would, because there's no other structure really like it. On the face of the earth, the whole elevator system inside the arch.
Yeah, I saw a documentary about it. It's fascinating.
It's the only one of its kind because of the uniqueness of how it has to work. And of course, I don't know, I can't count the number of times I've been up in the arch. It was really funny. I will say this: when I first started my stand-up comedy career, when I used to do stand-up comedy, I started at 19 years old at the Funny Bone in St. Louis. And Craig Hawksley is the name of the comedian that used to introduce the show. And one of my favorite jokes, since he was a local St. Louis comedian, was he would talk about how people would come to St. Louis and not see the arch. And I'm like, how do you not see the arch, right? It's not like it's 630 feet tall. How do you come to St. Louis and not see the arch? It's not like they throw a big drop cloth over it at the end of the day. But then he would talk about the people who have seen the arch, and they say, the funny thing about it is you look up at the arch and you look at it from a distance, and way up at the top, you see the little windows, right? And from down below, they look like they're about that big. And then you go up inside it and you get up to the top and you realize they actually are that big. And if anybody is up who's ever been in the arch totally gets the joke because the windows are really tiny.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's like it's just they are little slivers, but the angle that you're looking at, you're actually looking down over them, and you do get some amazing views from.
I thought you were going to say nobody sees it because their noses are in their phone, but that would have been a little early in that era. For that
You've got nomophobia.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last. I think I went up into the arch in 2008. Might have been the last time I was up in it. It's been a long time, but yeah, definitely need to go. Anyway, we've got to go too. We've got to get everybody over to the pro show, the WDW Pro Show. Yes, William Schweikert. Look it up. I'm not going to send the links because of some of the comedy that I've done, but you can look up Ronnie Bradley Comedy. It's another channel. I've got some of my old comedy stuff on that, and you can see some of the skits that I've done in the past. One of them is Madonna and Vanilla Ice. So that's all I'm going to say. Jeremy, you can look it up too.
I'm doing a themed birthday party now.
I was
well, good night, everybody. We had a fun time being with you, and we hope you had a good time with us. But we must exit.
We must exit. We must depart. Thank you guys for being here, and until the next time, we will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao.
Bye.
Go over to the pro show.
Dishes are done, man. Cleans them down to the shop.